everyone, welcome to the GrayMan Prepping Tactical Tuesday. Man, I'm getting tongue-tied already here. Anyways, let's see. Tonight's topic is the biggest lies preppers are being told. Now, this generally speaks to new preppers, but even some old-time preppers are being told these same lies. So we're going to get on this here, and got Ray here with Fatman Prepper, and hopefully Coursera trainers will show up. So let's see who all is in here tonight. All right. Courtney at Wide Family Farm was first. Then Uncle Out, Die Bullfrog 79. And then Laura over at Hedgehog's Homestead. And then CB at Hugo Homestead. And got Maccabeus Everyday Survival. And everybody's talking there. Got WD Glock and Roll. Hey, Don. And Trent McMurray there. Hey, how you doing, Trent? All right. Kaylin Strings in the house. Hey, Kaylin. All right. Let's see who else rolls in here. Give them a couple seconds here for everyone to catch up in here. How's everybody's day out there? What's the weather like out where you guys are at? Where I'm at, let me hit the refresh button here. Pull in my temperature from outside. Oh, it's 29 degrees. Oh, and it went up from 80% chance of snowing tonight to 90%. And they dropped the amount down from 3 inches down to 2 inches. So we got snow coming in here. When I was out there earlier, there was already about, half inch of snow or so already. Just watched 3 islands do a little ice fishing. Cool, Kaylin. 34 in Des Moines, 37 in Central Ohio. Cool. Hey, Sherry Anderson. You snuck in there while I was overlooking the temperature. How you doing? Actually, no one else missed off there. All right, so this is an update of a live stream, sort of, that I did about, it was mid-July of 2020 with Uncle Al and from Die Bullfrog 79 and Brett from Broussard's Homestead. And between then and now, I've had to expand the list because there are more channels out there throwing out crap constantly that is blah. Okay, CB says 40 in Indiana. And in Tennessee, Laura at Hedgehog says it's 40 and raining. Okay, so we're just going to kind of jump into this, and then we'll talk about it a little more in depth. And let me get back over here to boom. And I mean, all right, for me, first of all, for those of you that don't know all about my background, I've been teaching emergency preparedness since 1971. All right. Yeah, I'm an old man. Some of this, the crap that's being peddled on the internet and on blogs and by some of the fear porn channels here on YouTube just ticks me off because it's trying to get people killed. And the reason I got into emergency preparedness was to save people's lives. And it really pisses me off when you got someone out there putting out BS minutia to either get clicks or to trick them into buying their products and stuff. But this is in the house. Kathy D is here. All right, so let's start off the list here. The biggest number one BS thing that new preppers, old preppers, people are being told is, oh, if something happens, you got to bug out. And I know that my friend Steve over at Coursera Trainers gets ticked on this one too. He lives in California where the wildfires are. And, when they had wildfires, he had to, quote, bug out, which was basically all he did was he just packed some gear and they left their home to go to a safer location, a safe haven, pre-planned. They weren't bugging out to the wilderness. They were just going to someplace else that was farther away from the fires. Fires never got to his house, but they were evacuating his neighborhood anyways because the way the winds were blowing around and crap was going everywhere. The Kraken is here. All right, you hear him. He doesn't want anybody to applaud for him. Just throw some money at the Kraken. Silver dollars will work. Not too hard. So, the thing that you must bug out to the wilderness is stupid. So, Ray, what should they be doing? You're muted.
So I'm bugging in.
Exactly.
You do what you want. There ain't no reason for me to go outside when shit hits the fan.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't realize that they, some of these bleak pictures that are being painted out there aren't going to turn that way in most locations. So bugging in, putting the blackout curtains on your windows and stuff, and it's probably the safest thing you can do. Hey, Hat Creek Homestead's in the house. How you doing? All right. The second biggest one that people are being told, especially new preppers, well, if you're going to prep, you got to prep for the end of the world.
If it's the end of the world, what the hell am I prepping for?
Exactly.
There's no reason to stay.
If the world is going to if the world is just going to end, whether it's a scenario like from the movie, what's it, 2012, where everything shifts around and everything, and water wipes out 90% of the people on the planet. And so, it's not, an asteroid hidden. Hey, you ain't going to survive it. And I love what McAdoo has put up here. Let me put that up here. Most preppers don't have the skill to do the wilderness. All right. Yeah. And that's the thing is, even most homesteaders don't have the skills to stay out in the wilderness. Caitlin has an interesting story about going back to bugging out. The only time I bugged out was way back in '93, but she was not prepared for that bug out. She's better prepared now. All right. So preparing for the end of the world is not what you need to prepare for. What do you need to prepare for? What happens in your area? If you're in Florida, you don't prepare for avalanches and 3 feet of snow. And if you're up in Idaho, you don't prepare for hurricanes and, stuff like that. So, your area has certain events that happens there. You know what those are. That's what you prepare for. Once you prepare for those, you can expand it to the less likely ones that are going to happen in your area. Hey, King Poopa, Dustin is in the house. The Pepper Man is here. All right, the next biggest lie, you must have guns first. That's the first thing you got to get is guns, and you got to have 1,000 rounds of ammunition. If you have any concerns about the 1,000 rounds of ammunition, go over to Corsair Trainers. Check out Steve's video from about 3-4 weeks ago, where he did a video addressing the 1,000 rounds of ammunition. And even on his video, he had to put up his little sign, where it shows language break, where he starts swearing. 1,000 rounds of ammunition is something made up with, and everybody started running with it. I have different firearms around here. I have 22s. I have 30-30s. I have 357s. I have 30-20s and some others. The only thing I have more than 1,000 rounds for is my 22. Because if I can't take someone down or slow them down with one shot, I have no business shooting. Yeah. All right. Number 4. For new preppers, you got to do it now. You got to get out there and do it out. Time's running out. Bye. That is probably the worst advice anyone can give a new prepper, because they're going to get burnt out. They're going to go into debt, and they're going to get pissed off at the whole thing about prepping, because they're going to get overwhelmed. And no, the best advice to give a prepper is take it one step at a time. What do you need the most of first? And, preppers first starting out, take it slow.
Start with a week, then go to 2 weeks, then
Exactly.
go to a month.
Yeah, and there's because prepping is like a big spider web. It's not just food, and it's not just water, and it's not just medicine. There's a lot of things in there. Everything's all connected. You need to be well-rounded. So you don't tell a new prepper, get it all now. That's the worst advice you can give to a new prepper. Some of these channels and people are saying that they are the only ones that know how you can survive, and you have to subscribe not to their YouTube channel only, but to their Patreon channel, where you got to pay to get the special advice. All right.
Yeah, that special advice is you just wasted your money.
Yeah. Hey, Seabass, how's it going? Hey, Mary Beth Smith. Who else snuck in here? Okay. All right. So, there is no one. If one person says that they are the only one that knows how to get you to survive, they're lying to you. Because, like I said, I've been doing emergency preparedness and survival stuff since 1971. I'm still learning stuff. There is so much to do, you can't learn it all. And things change. Medical procedures change. I remember doing first aid. Don't use tourniquets. Now, all right, tourniquets are back in style again. And it's like, okay. So, you can't know, one person cannot know it all. And anyone that says they know it all and only they know it all to help you, they're out to scam you. Gardening is easy. All right, all you gardeners in there, put in a 1 if gardening is really easy and anybody can do it, or a 2 whether it takes time to learn to do it right. 3.
Kind of a mix of both.
Yeah. Yeah, there are some things that are easy to grow. Weeds, dandelions. Hey, you can eat dandelions, and dandelions grow easily. And
they make wonderful wine.
Yeah. All right, here we go. 2. Hey, Steve, Corsair's trainer is in the house. No, Kaylin Smith, 9. Yeah. So, and that's the thing is, I hate these guys that say, just a bunch of seeds. Don't worry about practicing gardening. Gardening's easy. As soon as the poop hits the fan and everything goes down, you just go out and you plant your garden, in the lawn. Trent, 3 times 2. And so, gardening is not easy. If gardening was easy, people have never moved into the cities. If you can grow all the food you want and everything you need out in a garden, the society wouldn't have evolved. All right, next one here. The next biggest lie. You need to have years of freeze-dried food. Hey, freeze-dried food is nice. I have freeze-dried food. I don't even have 1 year. I don't even have 6 months of freeze-dried food.
That's my goal, to have years of freeze-dried food. That's a goal.
Yeah. But you don't have to have it if there's other ways to do it.
No. It's not the first thing I'm going to go for.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're right, Al. No on number 7 is you do not need years of freeze-dried food. The amount of freeze-dried food that my family has is in case we need to, quickly, or actually now they're in California, they have most of the freeze-dried buckets down there in case they need to evacuate California. Sorry, Steve, and come up here. They can get out and get gone. Now I have some up here in case I need to return back down there really quickly too. But you go out and buy freeze-dried food. It's it's very expensive. For a 2-week supply of freeze-dried food, I can buy 2 months of canned food that'll last several years. All right, yeah, and that's the thing is, those are talking about the in the side chat here, like Seabass can't afford a freeze-dried machine yet. It is very expensive. You need, it's probably better for several people that really live really close together that are kind of planning on helping each other out to pool resources and get one machine, and they all use it, and pay whoever's house it's at a little extra for the money, extra electricity for running it. But yeah, it's oh, Jehoiadak, I love it. I have years of dry food and it's freezing out. Does that count?
Sure, why not?
But Captain, I got to come back and help you. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, Corsair Trainers has his members only, and basically he's the captain. Pimento Prepper is first mate. I'm second mate. Annalie Brown is in the crow's nest with let's talk about prepping. Fireplug is beating the drum for everybody else that rows the ship. So yeah, that's his crew they're setting up there. All right, number 8. You must have an underground shelter to survive. And this has made suddenly a real comeback in the last several weeks. There are people out there saying, "Oh, we're going to have nuclear war. You got to have an underground shelter. Here we can teach you how to build a little small one here, emergency one where you can, at least you can survive for one another."
I figure when I die, I will have my own underground shelter.
Yeah. Yeah, Steve's calling out to everybody that's not a member of his channel to row. Oh, by the way, Steve, if you want to come up here and comment on this stuff, I sent you the link. Basement count, yeah, not according to these guys. Some of these guys are out there pushing the. You got to get one of these buried ones out and buried in the yard. You can go down in, everything's in there. When I was living in California, I might want to have one down there just because of all the idiots running around. Hey, Prairie Rider, the Queen of the North is in the house. So underground shelters is not a must. And those that are out there screaming, "Oh, we're going to have nuclear war. Russia's going to launch. China's going to launch at Russia. Russia's going to launch at India. India's going to launch at China. And they're all going to launch at the United States." No. Everyone seems to forget Crimea. They were saying the same thing in Crimea. What happened with Crimea? It kind of just fizzled away. Once Russia went so far, they got what they wanted. Okay, we're just going to sit here now. I'm sorry, but oh, Dustin, I want to see you go into that into your shelter then. Better pump it out first. All right, let's see what else we have here. Number 9. Oh, canned foods, and most of these people are talking about store canned foods, don't last. And there are several channels out there I've seen them putting out saying that canned foods are actually, if you get within 6 months of the best use by date, it's already gone bad. And then there's some other channels that are saying those that are doing the home canning, like Ray here, Rebel Canners, Mouse Toes, Wide Family Farm, and others that are doing their own canning. They're out saying, "Oh, you can it yourself, and it's only good for 6 months period. That's it." Heck, my mom canned peaches in half-gallon jars. We had so many, not peaches, pears. Sorry, pears. We got from the pear farm, and that stuff lasted 8 years and was still good. So, Mennonite Farmhouse is here. Digs Outdoors. How's it going? So, yeah. Anybody out there, any prepper channel saying that canned foods don't last, doesn't know what they're talking about. They're spreading lies, and most likely they say, "Oh, you need to buy the freeze dried stuff. Use my channel link here for your discount," which means they get you get a 5% discount. They get 5% cash back. So,
well, I have no problems with those on decent channels that are speaking truth.
If they're speaking the truth, but the guys that are saying canned foods don't last and you need to get freeze dried.
Yeah, and you kind of got to use your head. If they're pushing you to, hey, buy this from me and blah, 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 then yeah, kind of go the other way, just walk away.
Yeah.
Like I'll use to help generate revenue. I'll use links, my Amazon store, but I'll also, if I can find it cheaper, I'll tell you where to get it cheaper.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like when I was teaching the CERT classes, which is the Community Emergency Response Team training. Everyone in the class thought I had stock in Harbor Freight. I kept telling them, I have absolutely no stock in Harbor Freight, but this is some good stuff. Now, Harbor Freight does have some crap, but these things here that I was telling them about, this is some good stuff, and it's cheap, inexpensive, you can get it, and it'll help you out. But those, I don't have any links for my Amazon stuff on either of my channels. I don't know. I just don't feel right putting it out there. It's like, it'd be nice to get a little extra income, but I will share, anything that people want to know what I get off Amazon. I'll share what it is. I'll give you the links for it, but I'm not going to run you through my thing so I get money back on it. All right. Number 10. You need to join a survival group. You're not going to survive unless you join a survival group. Survival. All right. Survival groups, which, there's like different classifications of them: a MAG, a mutual assistant group, a CAG, a community assistant group, whatever you want, a tribe, a team, whatever you want to call it. They can help you out. But to tell a person they need to join one just to join one, no. And some of these groups out there I've heard about, they're saying, hey, all right, we got this going. We're setting up this location here. You are to be a part of it. You have to store so much food here at our site at the beginning, and if you quit the group, you forfeit your food or whatever other supplies you have here. And I'm not going to name the name of that particular channel that did that. And there are a lot of ticked off people because he started booting people out for cause. Oh, you did this, you said this, so you're out. But all your stuff is ours. So yeah, there are some bad survival groups out there. If you want to form your own survival group, hey, make sure your bylaws protect everybody in the group. All right. But survival groups can help you out. But to say you have to join one, you don't have to join one. And like MacDia says, people are a resource, but you don't want to get locked into something where they have a chance to rip you off. Hey, Garden State Gardener, how's it going? We got Joe in the house. All right, let's go to the next one here. Number 11, you can't trust your neighbors at all. I've heard that several times, and that is That's just wrong, because you may have some really nice neighbors. What you need to do is get to know your neighbors. Find out which ones you can trust. You may find some neighbors you don't want to trust, that you don't want to be around, but you may find some really good, solid people there. And when you find some good people and you start building a coalition of friendship and the hobbies and stuff, and you can steer them into, hey, plant a garden in your back garden. It's so expensive at the grocery store. Start growing stuff in your backyard. It's free food almost. And you work them into prepping that way. You might develop them into you doing the garden stuff, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, you got a lot of extra stuff there. Learn how to can. So you can actually turn your neighbors from sheeple into preppers. So yeah, you can trust some neighbors, but you got to cultivate the neighbors. You got to do it right. You can't just say, oh, I can't trust my neighbors at all. I'm going to defend my house against my neighbors and everything else. Yeah, Kraken, you are right. Yeah, as I said, some of them you don't want to trust and you don't want to have to do it, and they're going to cause problems and a disaster.
Be guarded when you're trusting neighbors. Just be guarded.
Yeah, and also remember, practice OPSEC, Operations Security. You don't want to give out all your information. You want to try to, you want to get them prepping on it. And, if you do some canning, hey, you can talk to them. Hey, yeah, we can too. You can teach them how to can. You can teach them stuff, and you want to develop a few, because if you can create a coalition of several families in your neighborhood, when the poop hits the fan, you can take it out there, and you guys have a plan of action to secure your neighborhood. And also your other neighbors are saying, whoa, these guys know what they're doing. I better step in and help them out. So they'll help me out too. You can, build a better source there. I'm just trying to keep up on the side chat here. Yeah, and exactly right. If you can get some of your neighbors prepared, that helps you, the fact that they have food and they're not coming after yours. Yeah, trust but verify. Who knows where that came from? What agency had that as their motto? Trust but verify. You'd be surprised. And right, if there's some that you have some crackheads living 3 doors down, yeah, you can give out misinformation to them, so they're not going to have to worry too much at them. Yeah. All right, number 12. Let's go to number 12 here. No, not the CIA, but it was basically the same from another country.
KGB?
Yep, it was the KGB.
I was just joking and guessing.
No, it was the KGB. That was their motto: trust but verify. All right, number 12 lie that new preppers are told: riots are going to happen in your area. There's no way around it. There's going to be riots in your area. Well, okay, yes, in Portland there were riots. In Seattle they had problems. In Los Angeles they had problems. In New York they had problems. There were a lot of cities and stuff that had riots. But, if you're farther out, right, I'm going to pick on Steve here. Steve, you still here? In your neighborhood during 2020 and part of 21, were there any riots in your neighborhood? I never heard you talk about any riots in your neighborhood. Whoa, there were riots in your neighborhood, Steve? On your streets and stuff? Because Steve's out there on the outskirts of LA. Or he's just saying, yep, he's still here. Nope. Project Paul says, nope, there were no riots in his neighborhood, wherever he was at. I know in where my wife is in California, there were no riots in their city. And the city's the county seat there. All right. Yeah, here's see it. No riots there where Steve was down there in the outskirts of LA. So, you know, there's not going to be riots in every neighborhood. I know during Katrina, some areas there are people getting upset and there were, you know, things going on, but there weren't, quote, the riots in every neighborhood. Everybody's breaking the stores and stealing stuff because the place is flooding. In Contra Costa County, where my wife is in California, the only place there were riots ever was over on Richmond, next to the San Francisco Bay, and Richmond is always looked to as the poop chute of the county. But they weren't that big and bad there. Kraken says 2 stone to riot here. I'm just trying to catch up here. CB was listening to the riots on her cop app, but the riots weren't everywhere. They were limited to certain areas, and so anyone that's saying riots are going to be everywhere is lying to you. I know up here in eastern Idaho, the entire eastern half of the state, there were 0 riots. And the southwestern half of the state, there were 0 riots. Now you go up by Coeur d'Alene, where the idiots are coming over from, where Antifa was coming over from Seattle. They were going to try riots, and they were met by state militia and just chased them out. So, okay. Hang on a second. Just got a quick. What's going on here? Okay, I got family stuff going on there. Nothing that important. Let's see here. Let's go to number 13. And this is the one that really pissed me off a year and a half ago when Uncle Al and Brett Bessard and I were doing this. We only had 13 on the list last year and a half ago in July of 2020. There were several of them going, you must buy our survival gear to survive. You must buy our gear, our hunting gear, our camping gear. You must buy this stuff off our Patreon channel to survive. I mean, these guys that are saying that about you got to go over to our Patreon channel to survive really turned me off to Patreon.
People that are saying that shit, do not walk, turn around and run. Yeah. Run away.
I found out there are some good channels over on Patreon. They put stuff over there that they can't put on YouTube because YouTube yanks it. And, you know, Steve of Corsair Channels has a one over at on Patreon, Corsair Channels. Corsair Trainers has a Patreon channel, but he says he keeps the price as low as he can go just to keep the riffraff out. He's not trying to make money on it. He's just trying to be, you know, he puts up the stuff over there that he wants that he can't put on YouTube because there's too much truth for YouTube to handle.
Well, no, I mean, there's even here on YouTube, there's one that I follow that, you know, that's his job. He owns a store, a survival store. He puts out YouTube. He will notify you, hey, I have this. You can buy it here. But if not, that's fine. This is what this is, and let's review it.
Yeah.
Things like that. But when they're saying, no, don't get it anywhere else. Get it right here. It's the lowest cost, blah, 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 blah. Run and hide. Just run and get away from that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this one guy wasn't even saying it's the lowest price. He goes, "This is the best. Yes, it's expensive, but it's the best stuff, and it'll what you need to survive." And it's like, bullshit. All right, number 14. The government is coming to take your supplies. You got to make sure you hide your supplies when you're prepping.
Me and you had a nice conversation about this. The government's going to be way too fucking busy with other things. They're not going to go door to door looking for your food, okay? Not the federal government. They don't have the manpower. Not the county government. They don't have the money power. And not the local police because they don't have the money or the manpower to do all that, plus other shit that they need to take care of during a SHTF situation. It ain't happening.
Yeah, and here's the thing is, like Dig says, froze. He's been saying, FEMA's been telling people to prep since Katrina, which is 2005. Actually, since 2003, when DHS was formally altogether stood up, and ready.gov started putting out, telling everybody, get supplies. You want to have at least 10 days worth of supplies. CB, the government may need your Vienna sausages.
Well, they can come take my Vienna sausage anytime because it's not getting used.
So, those are saying that, you got to hide all your supplies because the government's coming to take your supplies. No, the government's not going to.
I'd be more worried about your neighbor wanting to take your supplies.
Exactly. That might be the only reason to hide it. Yeah, your neighbor's
not even just your neighbor, even your best friend. You don't know how good a friend is until shit hits the fan.
Yeah. And if they want to share with you, they're a good friend. All right. Next here is number 15. Don't worry about stocking a lot of food supplies. You can just find out where everyone else in your neighborhood has food and stuff and go raid them.
Here's the problem with that. During an SHTF, you better be thinking that everyone on your block has a gun.
Uh-huh.
Because I tell you what, you step in and try to take mine, you ain't stepping out that front door.
I'm sorry. Steve is being sarcastic here. If I can put it, there it goes. The jackbooted thugs are going to take my stuff. I've seen it on YouTube. Yeah, those are the channels you need to stay away from that spout that. And Steve is being facetious about that. Yeah, it's that's why you want to going back there. If the one says number 11 there, you can't trust your neighbors at all. That's why you need to start developing your neighbors so you don't have to worry about them trying to steal your stuff. No, I'm no longer with the government. Man.
I am.
You're with the unemployment office.
I'm with I'm the one you're gonna be hitting up if the SHTF hits. I'm gonna be your best buddy then.
Yeah. So don't and you don't go planning on raiding others for their supplies because I've seen pictures on stuff now in news. Burglars break into old lady's house and she shoots them. 86-year-old woman kills intruder. You think it's bad? You have to worry about the 86-year-old woman. Now, if you break into her house, if things go bad, she's going to be on high alert.
You haven't even mentioned the 12-year-olds that have shot and killed trespassers.
Yeah. All right, number 16. In SHTF or Tawaki, what it means is no more government, no laws, no rules. It's going to be a world without the rule of law. It's going to be a free for all.
And if you believe that, I do have some swampland out here in Death Valley. I'm more than happy to sell to you at a premium.
All right. I mean, I can carry on about this, but this is another one that Steve, of course, our trainers. What was it, about 6 months ago you did it, Steve? Talking about or maybe more than often than that, but he was talking about those things, talking about the fantasy guys. Oh, I can't hardly wait till SHTF. That means I can go out and do whatever I want. Problem is, everyone else out there, all the other bad guys are going to be thinking the same thing, and they're probably going to be badder than you are, and they're going to shoot you. So I've got a good question here. What is Tawaki? It's an acronym. The end of the world as we know it. And I'm not going to sing the song.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
And I feel fine. Yeah, okay. Righty, just a second. Special tools for them. All right. That's not good. A little conversation going on the side back with Kraken about talking about his friend has the backhoe and stuff. All right, talking about SHTF, society will rebuild, small pot. There'll be commerce will be a little bit different, a lot of bartering and stuff. But hey, guess what? They're going to be appointing, town marshal or a community marshal or sheriff or whatever, and and even during Tawaki or SHTF, everything's not going to fail everywhere. The overall government may fail, state governments may fail, county governments fail, city governments may survive a little bit. So there's going to be someone setting up some sort of law and order. So, Tawaki and SHTF does not mean end of government. It just means things are going to be crazy for a little while before it settles down. And remember, like Steve said over on his channel, if you go out there and you start shooting people, people are going to witness it. And when law and order comes back, guess who they're going to be turning in? So, yeah. Exactly, Steve. Exactly. Yeah, all right. There it is perfectly. When they had no police in their little town, they automatically had a neighborhood watch. People are going to pull together. Now, Caitlin says, there will be rules, just different ones, until government reassess itself. It may be a new government, but it will reassess itself. All right. Number 17. Sorry, I get a migraine from this one. There was a channel out there, and I stopped following him after he came out and talked about this stuff. He had a list of over 20 bags you need to have. There was a bag for evacuation. There was a bag for permanently evacuating. There was a bag for bugging out. There was a bag for I'm never coming home again. Wait a minute, those last three kind of sound the same to me. And thing is, the items he had in all these, most of these bags were identical items. So you didn't, they said, but you got to have separate bags. You got to have them labeled so you know which bag to grab. Now, I'm not saying having some bags and stuff is a bad thing, but all right, limit. What type of bags do I have? Well, let's see. I got a vehicle kit, whatever, for the vehicle. The only thing in that kit is for the vehicle. Then I have a get home bag in the vehicle. That get home bag is in case the vehicle breaks down and I need to get home. I need to leave the vehicle. I can get home. It's the stuff in the vehicle kit is jumper cables, flares, extra quart of oil, stuff like that. It's stuff I ain't going to be packing home. I ain't going to have that in my get home bag. So I got my get home bag with stuff to get me home. I have a bug out bag. In case I need to leave here and never come back, I have a bug out bag. I have what's called a rat fad bag. That's RATFAD. Run away to fight another day. And basically that has, 5 or 6 days worth of food in it, ammunition, and firearms, and camo clothes and stuff like that. So if I just need to out the door here and run off into the bushes and everything a ways away from here because someone's overrunning my place here, that means either that night or a couple days day later when they're all partying it up and they're all off their guard, I can sneak in and retake my place.
See, I like my get home bag. My get home bag is of 2 items. Very simple. But being in a urban city environment, I need 2 things. I need my AAA card and a bus pass. An unused bus pass. That's all I need to get home.
Yeah.
In the city.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I just playing in the side chat here. Diggs Outdoors, and of course, their trainers are having a nice conversation there. And Mary Beth Smith says she's too old to run, too tired to fight, and the next one has a backhoe too. All right, so yeah, okay, a lot of comments just flying by there, and all of a sudden. And Caitlin, as Constance said, she wears her get home bag every time she goes out because she doesn't drive. Okay. Yeah, so you don't need to have 20 or 15 different bags. Like Dig says he has 3 bags. You figure out what you need to have bags for. And so, I mean, one of the things is my bug out bag has shrunk in size because, hey, this is supposed to be our bug out location up here in Idaho. And basically the whole town is a mutual assistant group here. So, yeah. All right. Everyone's talking about their bags. Good. All right. Excuse me. All right. Number 18 here. Let's bring it up. All right, Steve, here comes your high-speed, low-drag stuff. You need to have all the latest gear so you can move at high speed, be a high-speed operator, and get everything done. You need to have the best, latest, greatest gear. And you can get it from me, too. Kaylin's not wrong on this one. I could bug out to my neighbor's place. Actually, because where I'm located, they'd probably bug out here and reinforce my place.
You need whatever gear you feel the most comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
That may not be the latest, greatest gear.
Exactly.
I have a friend who has a coffee set that he has in his bug out bag that was made back in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't need the latest and greatest. Usually the latest and greatest are nothing but cheap ass junk that's going to break the first time you try to use it, and you're not going to be able to successfully use it because it breaks while you're using it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, here's a piece of my gear. This is a Gerber multi-tool. I've had this for I don't know how many years. I keep this thing clean, pristine, well-oiled, and I take care of it. I know how to use it. I've seen some channels with showing all their gear, and it's still in its original wrapper. I mean, it's like, hey, you haven't even taken out your wrapper. You don't know how to use it. Have you read the instructions on it? And it's in the original stuff, and it's like, yeah. There's, if you have gear, you need to practice with it and be comfortable with it. If you get the latest stuff, you have to go immediately out and practice with that latest, newest gear to get comfortable with it. I mean, I have some old folding shovels that I got when I was a Boy Scout. All right. I still use those. I have those. I love them. They're good. I have gear that is, 20, 30, 40 years old. I'm comfortable with it. I know how to use it. I know what it can do, and I know what it doesn't do.
Yeah.
Kraken, we know you shave your legs. Don't say you won't shave your legs. Steve said you shave your legs. Hey, Stuart, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into the leg shaving.
All right. This is another one which, defies common sense. We started, I want to start with new gear. Yeah, Steve, have you read the instructions on it, though? Or have you used gear like it?
Man grooming.
Yeah. Sorry, I got some of these ones that are still talking about the gear stuff. Yeah. All right.
Hey, duct tape is your friend.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying there ain't nothing you cannot do with duct tape.
Yeah. All right, Steve's answer. It's duplicate gear. So he has gear he uses. He likes it. He buys a duplicate set, keeps it in its thing so it's good, new, but he knows how to use it because it's duplicate gear. 2 thumbs up, Steve. All right, a generator. I've heard several channels talking, oh, you're going to lose power. Get a generator. Generator will provide you all the power you need.
Well, no, there's some truth to that. Now, if you have an industrial, military, and generator, and you have enough fuel for it, sure, you're set.
Enough
But
fuel.
first of all, you're not going to be able to afford that military grade generator generally. Second, unless you have a refinery in your backyard, there is no way you're going to have enough fuel for it.
Yeah. Hey, Tennessee Tactical, how you doing, buddy? Hey guys, if you want to know some of the situation of the ammunition around in the eastern United States, around Tennessee Tactical does these usually does it on Mondays. He'll go out and he shops around and he brings back and shows you what the prices of ammunition and availability is around his area. Good stuff to know. All right, so getting back to the generator. A generator provides you all the power you need if you have fuel. But the drawback is, I got an 8,000 kilowatt generator fired up, and all the neighbors in the neighborhood go,
can I run you an extension cord?
Yeah, exactly. They go, somebody's got a generator. And like Ray said, they're going to be coming with their extension cords trying to, hey, can I plug my refrigerator in?
And that's the nice ones.
Yeah. And then the not so nice ones are going to wait until you go to bed and you go over and try to steal your generator in the middle of the night. Kraken has a good point on this. Off-grid solar backup generator. Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say, don't call it a solar generator, please.
Yeah, no, it's he has off-grid solar system and a backup generator. WD pointed out something good here. A wood gasifier. You can, make an engine run on wood gas. During World War II, a lot of the farmers had gasifiers built onto their tractors and just ran the hose around with the wood gas into the carburetor.
They had gasifier vehicles back right during the end of and after the Civil War.
Yeah, when when first vehicles came out, they were running them on everything. But the big problem with a generator is two big problems. One is fuel, 2 is noise. And I have seen some people countering this with good suggestions. You only run the generator during the daytime when there's other noise out. There are several channels that built some really great, and they show you how to do it, quiet boxes to put your generator in. So it doesn't make hardly any noise at all. Then you can also get the little inverter ones, that are super quiet, that 1,000 or 2,000 watt ones. Here's the thing. If you are going to get a generator, do not run it all the time. What do you really need the generator for? To get your refrigerator cold and your chest freezer cold or upright freezer cold. That's what you need. How long does it take to do that? No more than a half an hour. If you have a good one, it could take as little as 15 minutes.
And provided that you're not going in and out of that refrigerator or that freezer, those things will maintain an internal temperature, which is safe for food. I know the freezer can go 8 hours, and that's just
longer,
in an
actually.
Fridge. I know at least 8 hours.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like I have some chest freezers and stuff. Give you an example here. From Sam's Club, the 7 cubic foot chest freezer. We ran it all day off of a 45 watt with 3 15 watt solar panels and a couple car batteries. we ran it all day long, and it was still the ice cream was still frozen solid at the end of the day. This was out in the summertime, outside selling at a peddler's fair. So we've had it actually where we're working on something and it got unplugged, and the next morning it was still frozen solid because no one went into it. But as soon as we opened up and the light didn't come on, we realized, wait a minute, power's off to it. And that's the thing you need to remember too, even on a refrigerator, like Ray was saying, don't be going into it. You need to break the kids and the adults of the habit of opening up the door. What do I want? You don't just open it up and just be looking around for 5 minutes trying to figure out what you want out of the fridge. You don't open it up until you're ready to know what you want. All right, I want a soda. You open up, grab the soda, close the fridge. And you set different times when to do this. And Uncle Al came back with build a steam engine to run your generator. Yeah, that's one way to do it. There's hydroelectric.
Will go great with my steampunk outfit.
Yeah,
just saying.
Hidden Valley Homestead up in Bonner County, Idaho. That's my friend Scott. He's an operating engineer. He retired. His whole house is on solar right now, but he has a stream that flows through year round, and he's currently building a hydro power plant to go in that stream. So he has backup for when the snow, the stream doesn't freeze over totally. So he has backup power in the wintertime or in the summertime, depending what's going on. All right, number 20. Here comes the last one, folks. Oops, it's a repeat. Gardening is easy. And I put it on the too because gardening is not easy. All right, that's why you need to practice now. But, like I said, I hate the channel that says gardening is easy. Get these freeze-dried seeds. They're good for 100 years. They're freeze-dried seeds. They're dead. And these seed vaults. Seeds, under certain conditions, can last a long time. Seeds also, under certain conditions, last a year if you're lucky. And the other thing, too, to consider with seeds is what seeds are in those. Are they seeds that are set up for your location? I can do it. Hang on a second. We got something right here. Seeds. Seeds. But hey, this brand here I get locally here. Okay? I'm not sure you can read it at the bottom, but what it says here, it says, climate tested for Eastern Idaho. So if you get seeds, you want to make sure it's good for your area, that it's climate tested for Ohio or climate tested for Arizona or climate tested for Southern California. So if you get seeds that are climate tested for Maine and you're in Florida, you could have a problem, or vice versa. You get seeds that are set up for Georgia and you're up in Montana, those seeds may not do good. But so if you're going to do gardening, practice now, because gardening is a skill that takes practice. You learn every single year. All right. So now the next question here is, everybody inside chat, what else can you think of that people are telling preppers out there, which is just plain not true? Hey, Ellie, how's it going? So, I mean, because there's got to be some of that, because I don't watch all the other YouTube channels all the time. And I know there's other things being told that are just, not good. So if you know of anything else, fire it in here in the, Lori's going away. All right, Lori, have a good night. Prairie Rider, Queen of the North, is retiring to her castle. So if you can think of any other things that people are saying, telling new preppers or even established preppers, this is what you need to do, and it's not true, I'd like to see some of those other lies that are being populated out there?
Well, like I stated earlier backstage, and it doesn't happen often, but every now and again it does, and I've seen it, I've heard them, where they'll tell you you have to use Mylar bags. No, you don't have to use Mylar. The regular food saver bags work just as well. There are some benefits to Mylar.
Mm-hmm. And Lewis, yeah, there are a lot of myths being spread out about what's going to happen in an EMP. Well, the thing is, an EMP is like an earthquake. It can be a small one. It can be a good shaker. It can be a 9.7 one. So it depends on how big the EMP is, depends on what's going to happen. And I mean, some people are saying that hey, it's going to wipe out all cars. Language break. If it's a small one, it's not going to wipe out any cars at all. If it's a huge major one, it may wipe out all modern cars. But if you have a pre-65 car, it may be running just fine.
An EMP, for the most part, is going to follow a thermonuclear explosion. Now, I know where I live. I'm very close to a major Air Force base. If that explosion happens, I don't need to worry about an EMP, okay? There's more important things such as nuclear radiation, okay? Yeah. I'm within the 80% kill zone. So I've got an 80% chance of not being here after that.
Yeah.
So EMP does not bug me.
Yeah.
And we lived many years without electronics and cars.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands of years humans have survived without that shit. You can survive.
All right. We got Ginger Ninja here. And then we have Miriam 420 came in. And I already said hi to Ellie. All right. So yeah, there are
Bullfrog
unfortunately
says,
there are people out there in the prepper community that are taking advantage of the prepper community and putting out things that flat out lies that are going to get people hurt. Let me go back up here a bit, and here's the first 10. And some of these things are, Jamie, I was going back to the first one here. You must bug out into the wilderness. That is bull pucky.
That's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah. If you're not, I like it. Tennessee armchair warrior types. Yeah. Or as Steve puts it, keyboard warriors.
Yeah, that's the way I put it. The Bullfrog mentioned solar flares. Look, I'm not too worried about a solar flare. I'm going to be honest. To me, an EMP, a solar flare, EMP knocks out all the electricity. Good. Because one, it's going to get my fat ass up out of this chair and make me, I got enough food. I got enough food in reserve just on my body, okay, for a couple weeks.
Yeah. Kraken, you were so right. That's what I've been saying, and I know for a fact it doesn't work because, hey, it was put on the DHS not recommended list. So, yeah. Anyways, that's beside the point. So just to review quickly, you must bug out in the wilderness. No, you don't. You must be prepared for the end of the world. No, you prepare for what's going to happen in your area. You start with the most likely events and you work your way to the least likely events that happen in your area. And that's what you prepare for. You must have guns first. No. I know several preppers that don't own guns because they're foster parents. They have archery equipment.
We talked about that too. Airsoft.
Yeah. There are airsoft or air-powered rifles, stuff like that are not firearms. Okay. All right. You need to do it all now is another lie. No, you don't need to do it all now. You do it one step at a time so you don't burn yourself out. Some of these guys that say they are the only ones that know what you need to know so you can survive. No, they don't. Okay, gardening is easy. Yeah, I repeated that one because it's such a sore spot. You need to have years of freeze-dried food. No, you don't have to have years of freeze-dried food. What you can buy for a month's worth of freeze-dried food, I can get 6 months of regular food. You must have an underground shelter. No.
You'll get that when you die.
Yeah. Canned foods don't last. And like some of these channels say canned foods don't last. They say, oh, it's only good for a year, or if you're within 3 months of the expiration date, it's no longer good. No.
Food does not expire in the United States. A best by date is nothing more than an inventory control system produced by the manufacturer. Second, canned goods can go indefinitely depending upon storage conditions. They pulled canned goods from the bottom of rivers from the Civil War that were perfectly edible. Again, that was in absolute perfect conditions for storage. But you get what I'm getting at.
Right.
I mean, I can go take my can of chili and put it outside for 2 days out here in the Arizona summer, and it ain't gonna be good after 3 days.
Yeah. And also the channels that are saying that those that can foods themselves are trying to kill themselves because home canned food doesn't last 3 months or doesn't last 6 months. My mom canned stuff and it was good 8 years later. So
of the 100 cases of botulism reported in the United States in the last 10 years, only 1 or 2 were from canning.
Yeah. And all right, here it is. If you haven't started now, it's too late for you. Bullpucky. If I didn't have any food in here, I could head up to Winco or Costco and I could get in one trip, get a year's worth of supply of food for me. Real easy. All right, Maccabee says some foods can go bad. You got to watch, especially on the foods going bad. Tomato products in with the pop tops, because those cans have a chance to go bad easier because the metal's thinner there. There are some foods that do go bad. There are some other foods that do last practically forever.
Use common sense with canned foods. I mean, if you open a can and stuff's bubbling out, you don't want to use. You want to give that to your enemy, okay? I'm just saying.
Yeah, but food. The best by date on it is not throw it out. I got tomato sauce here in a jar. It's got 6 more months on the best use by date. We've had Costco stuff for a year past its best use by date, not realizing it, just at home in Martinez there, and start using it, crack it open and use it. And
hell, I love
we all ate it. Nothing happened. Then we realized on the jar when we were washing it out later on to reuse the jar. It's like, oh, this was expired 6 months ago. Oh,
there you go with the wrong word. That's the wrong word, not expired.
Yeah. Not expired. Best use by date. Yeah. So
see, that's why I love my sisters. They think the best by date is the expiration date. So when they take inventory of their things and see Best Buy, oh, it's past, they just save it and give it to me. I'm like, I have no problems using it.
Yeah. All right. And one of the other ones is, that they tell you got to join a survival group. Go through these others real quick here. Can't trust your neighbors. Riots are going to happen in your area. You must buy their gear to survive. The government's going to come in and take your supplies. You can plan on raiding others for supplies.
You better
SHGF or Tawaki means no government. These are all the lies I hear them telling. You must have a bag for every event or action or situation. You need to have all the latest, greatest gear. A generator will give you all the power you need forever, and gardening is easy again. So I hope everyone picked up on some stuff here that some of these channels are saying out there that are lies. So if you meet someone that's thinking about getting into prepping, you can warn them. And remember, they don't have to, they start out small. They don't have to prep for the end of the world, and they don't have to bug out.
Start 1 week, then 2 weeks, then a month, then 2 months.
Yeah. Now, there may be a situation where you may have to bug out, but you don't bug out at the drop of a hat for everything. And I like what Steve used to say about some of these channels back at the beginning of the Red Dragon event back in the beginning of 2020. They had been talking about, if a pandemic hits, we're going to bug out to the hills. Well, the pandemic came, and guess what they did not do? These guys that were saying they're going to bug out did not bug out.
No, they were too busy making other YouTube videos saying you need to do this, you need to do that.
Or actually, some of them just dropped off of YouTube for several months because they were embarrassed because they didn't bug out. All right, so let me check up here for a coming attraction. So Thursday morning, Ray is going live at 5:30 Mountain Time.
Yeah, I'm going to go back live on Mondays or Tuesdays and Thursdays.
So Thursday, Ray will be live 5:30 in the morning Mountain Time at 7:30 Eastern. Friday night, my gray man will not be on Thursdays anymore. On Friday night, Gardner Josh comes on at 8 o'clock Eastern. At 7 o'clock Eastern, Bruce of Backwoods Law is on. And of course, there's the after party with Fishes and Loaves Live. But on Monday, for my Camp Patton Family Compound channel, my gardening channel, so we're going to be talking about garden tools and making sure you have all the garden tools, and not just the tools you think about. I have some ideas for some other tools you may not have realized you need to make sure you have ready for your gardening. All right, tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, Digs Outdoor will be live. Okay, Sundays, Kaylin, what time on Sundays? I forget. I have a brain fart here. What time do you do your MRE reviews on Sunday, Kaylin? Oh, she's going to be out camping here on the 18th to the 20th. So
I can't watch Kaylin.
Kaylin goes live at 8 p.m. Eastern, usually on Sundays.
I can't watch her because she makes those MREs look so damn good.
Oh, yeah. I know. The one she had on Sunday was, oh, man. It's like I saved that video to my other channel food folder, and I'm adding that MRE of the ones for my wife to think about getting. Yeah. So, yeah, 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Central. That's 6 Mountain Time. Okay. So this coming Friday, Mennonite Farmhouse and Mouse Toes have a collaboration. Which channel is it going to be on? Is it going to be on yours, Mennonite, or is it going to be on Mouse Toes? Noon Eastern Time. So get that. Which channel exactly it's going to be on? Is it going to be Mennonites, or it's going to be on Mouse Toes? Mouse Toes is another great channel. She's been putting out some more cooking videos, and it's like, dang, I'm going to get fat eating that stuff. All righty. Next Tuesday here on Tactical Tuesday on GrayManPrepping, we're going to talk about the different types of prepper groups there are, and what ones to consider. Oh, okay. So 7 different channels. All right. So Mennonite Homestead is hosting. All right, cool. And anything else going down here? All right. Okay, we're going to wrap it up now. We went over a little bit, but hey, I think we're having fun here, giving out information. So as always, everyone, stay happy no matter what life throws at you. Stay safe. Don't go out and do anything foolish, like raiding other people's food supplies. Keep adding to your preps: water, food, medicines, skills, gardening skills especially. And now's the time to start planting a garden, all right? And with that, everyone, see you around next time.